What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Let's ask a question. So yesterday, more cities, more people in the streets, more outrage, more body footage coming from police officers involved in just shootings. And rather than showing these videos over and over again to you, I thought, why aren't we hearing more from Kamala Harris? I mean, she's California's top cop, surely, in an election where Joe Biden is, where President Trump is on this whole law and order campaign. Joe Biden obviously has a record to back it up, but he's choosing not to really speak on it per se. This would be great ground for Kamala Harris to get in there and actually say something. I thought it was really weird that I hardly see anything from her. I mean, I know typically, VP is more of a low-key kind of position, but given that she's running with Joe Biden, where he is mentally and all, the questions that people have around him, the fact that he's just barely now starting to get out and speak to people, I thought this would be a great opportunity for her to really say, hey, this is my area of expertise. This is what I'm bringing to the campaign. But when you look into her record, you find that it's quite complicated. And rather than, just go through a whole list of the issues involving her particular background, I want to talk about how she's using I just want to talk about body cameras. Now, body cameras is a very interesting issue. As Attorney General, she had powers that the federal government does not have. And I want to talk about whether or not she chose to use them, her position then, her position afterwards, and her position now, and how that's going to play into this election. And given that you haven't heard much about it up until now, it probably won't, unless President Trump brings it up. So I have this article from 2019. This is from PBS. This is when she was just kind of she was announcing that she's running for president. So this is mostly the focus of this particular article. But of course, it's going to give us a little bit of information on this particular issue, which doesn't get talked about nearly as much as the rest of her record. So give me 1 second. All right. So how Kamala Harris' record on police body cameras fits into the 2020 debate. So I'm just going to skip down here. And this is her position, right? Overall, Harris has been an advocate for the use of police body cameras. As California's Attorney General, the position she held before joining the Senate, Harris argued that body cameras help increase transparency and improve trust between law enforcement and communities they serve. Fair, right? Harris' general support for police body cameras was in line with public opinion. A 2018 survey by Pew Research found that the majority of police and public favor body cameras, with 50% of officers saying they would be more likely to act appropriately if they wore the device, and 59% of the public said they would be more likely to comply. They'd be more likely to cooperate with officers wearing body cameras. But when it came to taking position and implementing body cameras in California, Harris struck a more nuanced stance, drawing criticism from criminal justice advocates that still lingers years later. Now, this is the complexity. This is the issue. And this is when you have to watch people who don't really have, I don't want to say morals, but, what are their beliefs? Like, do they believe in what they're saying, or are they just saying things for political expediency? And that is my question with her. And, based on where her record has kind of fallen conveniently, I think you would have to be you should be very mindful of where she has stood in the past, just so you know not to expect too much from her, especially given that this is like an issue that she could really crush. So here we are, a new debate over body cameras. Harris's tenure as California's top law enforcement officer from 2011-2017 was a period marked by high-profile police shootings, many of them involving unarmed black men and women. Other cases of police brutality and misconduct. California has one of the highest rates of deadly police shootings in any state in the country, an issue California lawmakers are now addressing with a bill moving through the Senate legislature that would limit when police officers can take lethal action. Now, again, this is from 2019. She's become directly involved in issues when California lawmakers proposed body camera legislation following several successful pilot programs across the state. Under Harris's watch as Attorney General, the California Department of Justice in 2015 became the first statewide agency in the county to adopt a body camera program. The program was a victory for criminal justice advocates and placed Harris at the forefront of progressive law enforcement policy. But that same year, Harris warned against implementing a one-size-fits-all solution. Instead, Harris said she was in favor of local agencies, not the state, regulating the use of police body cameras. So again, this is that nuanced position. Where does she truly stand? And what it seems is that she's willing to do the thing that's in line with public opinion. However, she will provide the loophole that allows the individual municipalities to do whatever they want to do, which in many cases is going to be to just go around this altogether. Harris was responding to a legislative proposal that would have mandated specific standards for local jurisdictions that use body cameras. A bill in the state assembly would have required local law enforcement departments to make their records and policies regarding body cameras available to the public. The bill would have allowed police departments to view body camera footage before turning it in, which is the most bizarre thing ever. There's a footage from a shooting yesterday. I'm not sure what the gentleman's name was, but in the shooting, officer pulls up and he's chasing the suspect down. Within a few seconds, the suspect starts to pull out a gun to throw it away. The officer shoots him, and after the officer shoots him, rather than focusing on rendering the guy aid and things like that, I mean, there were other cops there. They were checking him out, but you can see that this officer is frantically looking for that gun. And I understand it's a tough position to be in. He's justifying what happened, but when you have that, when you have accountability, the officers are going to behave a little bit differently, but they're definitely going to be concerned. Like, if I have the ability to change my story to match the footage, that's definitely slippery slope territory. You know what I mean? Like, do you have the ability to react to what you think you saw, or do you have the ability to react to what actually was? So, say they thought they saw a weapon, but there really wasn't a weapon. That maybe the guy pulled out a pen or something like that. Beware. In the end, the bill failed, and Harris faced some criticism for not doing more to support it. Her position was seen by some critics as political maneuvering, an attempt to triangulate by supporting the use of police body cameras overall, but saying the state shouldn't get involved in implementing the policy. Again, that's what I'm saying regarding she, as Attorney General, would have. She has more power to regulate something like that than the president, than the federal government does. So it is interesting that she would not choose to use that power to really go deeper. But again, she's politically posturing. She's somebody who is, I would say, moved through the ranks fairly quickly, and now she's up for VP. So how sincere is she on political justice reform? Who knows? And interestingly, we talked the other day about what is it called? It's called the Justice and Policing Act of 2020, which I thought I saw her name on. And this is the bill that came out. Tim Scott's bill was the bill that followed this one, when we talked about qualified immunity and how this qualified immunity would have been significantly scaled back under this particular policy, versus where Tim Scott's bill was like, no, we really can't do that. So that was a poison pill, as he called it. And then we talked about how Joe Biden didn't really support this particular legislation, meaning you can't, if you don't support this bill and you don't support the Senate bill, then you're not looking for a significant change on criminal justice reform. Well, this is kind of the same, or this is where I question Harris. If this is Joe Biden as your running mate, and you should have similar opinions. She's introducing, or I guess she's what co-sponsor or whatever on this bill, that is supposed to. Let me tell you exactly what it's going to do. It doesn't mandate body cameras, but I know it provides funds for them. Okay, so it mandates about use of body cameras for federal offices, and requires state and local enforcement to use existing federal funds to ensure that the use of police body cameras. So she's providing the funds. She's making federal agents wear them. So that's progress. But again, it's not really in line with who she actually is. And then when I saw this bill, it seems like such a pie in the sky creation. As I think it has been called, one of those liberal wish lists, in that you're creating this bill not necessarily because you sincerely believe that this is something that can actually pass. You're just proposing it so you can later use it as for posturing. And I think that this is a bill that you're going to hear about when Harris does start speaking on police reform, criminal justice reform. It'll be a great opportunity for her to point out, hey, I co-sponsored this bill that didn't go anywhere, but I wanted to implement the use of body cameras. I wanted to make those funds available. But the question is, did you really? Is that what you really wanted, or is that what you just did because you knew it had no real chance of passing, and it allowed the House Democrats to put themselves up against was it the Senate Republicans as far as the proposal that they'd created to kind of address the concerns of, obviously the tension that we have right now in the streets with the rioting and looting and things like that, in the wake of all these shootings. And again, there's just so many. I think just yesterday I saw 3 new videos come out of officer-involved shootings, and it's going to become a hot topic because obviously it's fueling the riots and the protests and things like that. But then, of course, we go back to the law and order message and which candidate can make a better case for that. So just throwing this out there again because, where does she stand? She doesn't. It just kind of depends on the day and what people are saying and what she thinks is going to get her to the next level. Her silence, to me, says a lot more than she could really ever say in words, because even in this case, her action, it really just seems insincere based on her power versus what she actually does. So I would love to hear what you guys think on the issue. Go ahead, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next one.